Welcome into another episode of The Well. I'm Drew.
And I'm Kat.
Today we're going to be talking about us. Not that we don't talk about us every day. Well, actually, maybe it's not every day. I'd like to podcast every day. I just don't know if anyone would listen every day.
Y'all can let us know in the comments.
Speaking of comments, make sure you like, subscribe, follow. It really helps the page out. It costs nothing. It's free to hit that subscribe button, that follow button, that like button. Again, it really helps the page out and keeps us growing. So we appreciate all the support we've been getting and appreciate the likes, the follows, and the subscriptions. So on that case...
That note.
Yes, on that note. I've been having trouble with words lately. I don't know.
Case note.
Yeah, it's been bizarre. I feel like, I've just been struggling with words. And I talk an awful lot. But for some reason, I feel like I'm becoming more and more like you, where my brain just doesn't connect to my mouth correctly. So, LeMay.
Too much in it.
LeMay.
And for anybody that doesn't know that joke, one day I said LeMay instead of lame, and I knew that word was not correct when it came out of my mouth, but was at a loss.
You rolled with it, though.
I did.
Yes. See, I didn't drink out of my well mug this morning. I am drinking out of my coffee pot.
But I love that one. It's so funny.
Yeah. But if anybody needs any well merch, we do have mugs and candles and T-shirts and other fun stuff if you check out our store. That also supports the show. So I thought we would talk about, now we've been in a relationship for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And like most couples, there's ups and downs. I don't feel like we've had a lot of downs. We've been very fortunate in our time together. Wow, maybe not.
Downs in our relationship or in general?
Life has shit on us for many, many years. But for us, like you and I, we've been pretty solid.
That is true. Facts.
So I take that win.
Goal.
And I ride that win because I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
And if nothing has taught me from many failed relationships is the constant working together, being a team. Yes. Let's be corny. Yeah. We're a team, right? But it does work out that way. If you're not teaming, you're on opposite ends of the team.
Two is a team.
Do you, speaking of teams, right?
Yes.
Points. Do you keep a tally in your head for the things that you do? Like, hey, I'm doing all this stuff and you're sitting your ass on the couch eating potato chips every day.
Subconsciously, I do.
Yeah, me too. And I think it's just human nature maybe, but I would love to know if other couples keep tallies. I think that's pretty basic as far as I think everyone keeps tallies. You do it with your friends, your family, your spouse. But what particular things do you take point on? Like, I scored 5 points today because I did the dishes, I made the bed, I cleaned the toilets, I swept the floor, and I did an oil change in my car.
This is why I like to do everything myself. No, I'm kidding. I can give I should give context because I said I do subconsciously keep a tally, but honestly, it's and maybe other people do this. I think when you are a giver in a relationship, or whether you and your partner are givers, at some point in the relationship, if you notice that your partner is not giving, you kind of feel it, it's like they feel they're withdrawn or they don't participate in household chores or, as much. Then you start, if you don't say anything, you start thinking to yourself, well, I'm getting kind of tired and, I did this thing last year and I'm always doing this. And, I just spent last weekend doing this. But for me, it's very short-lived and it's very rare.
Yeah, well, you do have a goldfish brain. So
and then that's the beauty. Like you always say, that's the beauty of me is that I don't have the memory capacity to keep score or tally. And honestly, I don't really care until I do. But it takes me a long time to get to a point where I'm like, okay, if you're slacking off in the relationship, it takes me a long time to get to a point where I'm like, okay, that's not working. But I think we're really good at communicating too.
Yeah, agreed. But I think this is kind of where you and I differ quite a bit, maybe not quite a bit. And it takes a lot of emotional investment or horsepower for me to not become this way. It turns into pettiness, right? If you start to keep tallies on things, it can turn into this petty kind of, well, toxic. I always text you first. you never text me
Oh
first.
gosh,
Or,
I can't do that.
I drove last time, it's your turn to drive. Or,
Yeah.
I planned this, I planned the last 2 date nights. Now you have to plan the next 2. And I think it's one of the nice things about you is you don't do that. Even though you may keep a subconscious tally, you don't turn it into a pettiness. But I could see if it was a constant nagging theme, it could turn that way. Or maybe I should ask you, do you ever feel this petty behavior that, wow, I'm doing so much more and you're just doing nothing?
I feel like this is a very complicated topic, or not complicated, complex.
I almost spit out my coffee on
Are you
that one.
okay there?
I wasn't expecting this to be a complex topic, but
No, but I think it is. I think, because you and I have both had previous I mean, we've had relationships in the past, and I have had relationships where I have kept a tally, but I have to say, I don't think that I truly loved that whoever I was with, because I wasn't, it's like that Bible verse, love covers all things, like all transgressions. And it does, but it doesn't. I know it sounds weird to say that, but I think if you're a giver in a relationship and you're with someone that's not a giver, that's more of a taker, that's an imbalance. And you have to have a balance in the relationship. And maybe I just simplified a complex topic, and if you really love that person, you're not going to keep, in my opinion, you're not going to keep score. You're not going to keep a tally of, well, you didn't say good morning to me. You didn't make the bed. I don't know. I just feel like that's not love.
I could see that. And I've been on the opposite end where I've been the couch potato, the non-engaged partner where, feeling like the other person is doing the heavy lifting. So,
But
and
did you know
I think,
it at the time?
yeah, yes. I think,
Yeah. So
I think I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say, I think it's a cop out to say that you're not self-aware that you're doing it, right? I think it's a way to skate around that. You have to know if you're literally watching somebody do all the effort and all the work and you don't feel a certain way about it, like guilty or you should be doing more. There's not much hope there, in my opinion. I don't know how you can do, or you really have a dislike for the person and you're standing on principle. You're just literally being stubborn because you're not willing to work through whatever the issue is.
Yeah. I would also throw in an additional factor. Sometimes there's a lot of immaturity. People young or older just are not very mature. And I'm not saying we are. I mean, we've had a lot of hard knocks in life, and I think you and I both have chosen to learn, even though it's much later in life, but I think too, like I look back on my marriage previously, and I think I probably could have done certain things differently. Or I know in certain relationships, I would be not petty, but I would tally things, and I probably could have done a better job communicating, so I think there are lots of factors that play into it. But what I love about us is like our relationship is that, oh my gosh, I love you to death. And, I know you love me. And I feel like when we're hurting or we're drained or we're tired or we're frustrated or we're drained, I'll say that word again, from the world, and you and I, like one of us can't do, then the other one does, and that's just how we work. But we often work as a team, going back to what you said in the beginning. So we share life.
Teamwork. What's gonna work? Teamwork.
You laugh or I laugh, but it's true. You are
the
a
Wonder
team.
Pets have absolutely taught us about teamwork. So do you feel that when you're kind of balancing these thoughts in your head, do you equate them to like physical or emotional? Like, do you tally between the two? Are you more physically available? Or if that person's more not physically available, but emotionally available, are you like, I wish you would be more physical, or I wish you would provide more listening or caring, or, make the bed versus, just
That's
being
a really
good
good
listener?
question. That's a really good question. I feel like it's both sometimes. So One thing I would say is I think it's really important to know what your love language or love languages are so that you can understand what you need from your partner. I know it sounds silly taking a quiz, but it's the same with like a personality test. If you haven't taken a personality test, take a personality test. It will tell you so much about yourself. And I think the love language test will also tell you about yourself and what you need from someone in a relationship. So I don't care about gifts. I'm not a gift person. I'm more of a spend time with me, and I like affection, like physical touch, and I like to do things together. So if I feel like, and I feel like both of us over the years that we've been together, like we ebb and flow, right? Depending on external circumstances or family circumstances. Like sometimes we're just really drained and we're not super physical and affectionate. Like we kind of go off and do our own things, but it's always temporary, and I know it's always temporary. Or we'll have times where we may not talk a whole lot and we talk all the time, but I feel for the most part, we're pretty balanced.
I guess it depends on how you equate balance. I'm going to out you a little bit. In this stage of your life, you require a lot of emotional and physical support. Particularly if we say,
Do you
if
wait. But do you feel like, I mean, even though like we had, like I am going through perimenopause, like my needs have changed. And I think everybody's needs change through different seasons of your life and in your relationship. So you have to kind of adapt. But I go back to, if you really love each other, you're going to adapt. If you're getting things from each other, you're giving to each other, you can, I feel like it just works. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm almost afraid to say the next thing, but I'm going to say it.
I'll just be mad at you later.
No, it's not against you. It's just being on the other side of being supportive of someone going through perimenopause or menopause. I mean, no one prepares a woman to go through menopause, but also no one prepares their partner on how to best support somebody going through the change, right? So the other night, for example, you were having a bad day. And
actually, it was the entire day.
Yeah, it was
so bad.
Anger to crying to anger to crying to anger.
I don't think I was angry. I was sad. I was like reflecting on years of life.
The day before you had a little bit of an edge to you, but it's that mood swing where literally 2 days prior you were having the best days of you were just like, this is great. I feel great. I'm motivated. I'm
amazing. I can run through walls.
It's like you're on crystal meth, literally running around and could do anything and everything. You're so productive. And then all of a sudden someone kicks you off the ledge and you're falling,
and
at
I
a high rate of speed.
On my face and I just stay there.
I have to say it's hard to watch. And I'm very empathetic. I don't want anyone to think that I'm like comparing. It's why men don't go through this, because I don't think we could actually handle it. So, but it's hard, and I don't think enough people talk about both sides of it, right? Like you've found some support groups where women are talking about this and you find some comfort in that, but it's disappointing because there's not a lot of solution. And I think
there's no fixing it.
Yeah. Men shrug it off like, oh yeah, she's just, going through it, or blah,
she's
blah,
crazy.
Blah.
Yeah.
But I don't like, I think it's important that, we talk about it a lot. You and I talk about it a lot because I always want to know what's going on. Because I think it's important that you feel comfortable to talk about it. And we joke about it. Like I make fun of you for it. I tease you about it, which is
annoying.
Mean. But it
depends on the day how I take it. But I wasn't always
eating a gallon of ice cream and,
No.
And then putting the ice cream back in the refrigerator,
or the pantry.
Then realize, hey, this doesn't go in here.
Yeah. I will say though that I wasn't always great at communicating what was going on. I felt like, and I feel like this kind of stuff in relationships is different for every single relationship. So I can't speak to anybody else's relationship, but I can tell you what I've experienced with us. And I wasn't very good at communicating because I felt bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to burden you with, I'm feeling weird, or I'm feeling angry and I don't know why, or I'm having a nightmare in the middle of the night and I'm going, oh.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about dreams, Catherine and her dreams, and
Yeah.
like
Oh my gosh.
screaming at the top of her lungs.
It's rare though. It's
weird.
rare.
It's not rare enough. Like I'd like it to not happen anymore.
It's a horrible, and I bet other women can attest to this and post in comments if you can. But when I'll have like once a month, I'll have like a really scary nightmare, and I'm like hyperventilating in my sleep, and it's hormonal fluctuations. That's all it is. But we've really had to work at it. I mean, I've had to really, because I come from a family where we don't confront each other a lot. Like no one likes confrontation in my family. And so, and you are the opposite. You're like, I come from a family where we confront each other minute by minute, And so bringing that together, I've had to learn that when you confront, it's not personal, because I used to take everything so personal, like I'd be like, what can I do to fix it? And then I'd have to learn how to communicate to you and feel like it's not a confrontation. I'm explaining to you how I'm feeling. And
I don't feel like I'm confrontational with you about it.
No.
I press you.
Yeah, not confrontational in a bad way.
And the trigger for me. Yeah, and the trigger for me is when you're like, I'm fine. And your face
being
is
quiet
reading,
is not good.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. It's
fine. Because something's
absolutely
wrong.
Fine. And I know you're absolutely not fine.
But
so
why
do
we
the
play
dance.
this game?
We do
like why?
Because of subconsciously you're like, I don't want to burden you. I don't want to.
Yeah, true.
Or you're just not ready to talk about it. And we have talked about this as far as saying that, hey, listen, I got something going on. I just can't articulate it right now. I need some time to process it.
And that was probably a couple of years ago. I started saying that to you a lot, because I was like, something feels weird and I can't describe it. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why I'm feeling this way. And you're like, okay, well, that was information, at least,
And I think tone has a lot to do with it, right? Like I constantly say, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Why are you acting this way? What's your problem? Right? Like I feel like that is so triggering that it makes people shut down, as opposed to, are you okay? Do you need anything? Is there anything I can do for you? You're looking like you're upset, So I think the approach is important, but also when you're going through the change, sometimes there is no right approach. Everything's wrong, right? Like retreat is the only option, and hide. Like literally go hide.
But I can't tell you how important, I mean, you bring up an excellent point, tone, especially for women when they're feeling angry and they don't know why, and I used to tell you all the time, I'm like, when I'm feeling that crazy, or I'm feeling sad, I just like to be hugged. I don't even you don't have to talk. I just need to be hugged, and I need someone to say, everything's fine. Everything's okay. And we've worked at it. I mean, we've really had to work at it to get to a point, because I started when I was 30. How old was I? 38? When I first started
early.
Symptoms, I went into it early and I didn't know what was happening. And
no one did.
It was bad.
You were going crazy.
It was bad.
It was, because you were, now just a little backstory. Catherine's personality is super bubbly, positive, very caring, nurturing, but not over the top. Like she just has a very, a beautiful niceness about her that draws people in. And all of a sudden it changed. Not that you were mean. You just became withdrawn, depressed, sad. Like your emotions went, literally someone, I don't even, messed around with the wiring and it just was sparking all over the place. You just couldn't,
just like that.
Or literally someone sat you in a dark room and told you to go find the outlet with the cord, right? And here you are just stabbing the wall trying to find the outlet.
And it's awful. I feel so bad for women going through this. I actually just had a conversation with a friend the other day about it. She's younger than me. I feel bad for you all, whoever your partner is supporting you, and a lot of men or partners in general, like you said, they don't understand what's happening. So their indifference makes you feel that they don't care. And a lot of times that's not the case. They just have no clue what's going on inside your head. So communication has been, true.
I mean, honestly,
that's true too.
Probably a lot of fear.
Yeah. So I feel like you really have to communicate. You really You have to tell, like, I tell you everything, pretty much everything that's in my head. Like, we don't, or at least I don't keep secrets anymore, or like try to hide how I feel. Because if you know how I'm feeling, you know how to respond appropriately, and you're not like, I'll never forget, used to make fun of me, or the kids would make fun of me, or we would joke, right? Like, we kind of poke at each other. And on certain days, that was not a good idea. And I would get
Yes.
so offended, and my feelings would be so hurt. And I'm like, why am I feeling so sensitive? So it's a wild ride for sure. You poor thing. Thanks for sticking it out.
No, I am not complaining. I wouldn't, as I've said to you countless times, it's tough to watch. It's tough to support, but that's easy compared to what you're going through. So to me,
Which is
it's
so sweet
not
that
even
you say that all
comparable.
the time.
And that's not, I mean, I really do try and support the best way I can. And it's a lot of experimentation. So, just
I
trying
feel
to
like we have
figure
a
out.
good thing now, though. We've got a good process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
and
know when I'm going to be manic and super hyper productive, and then when I'm crashing and I cry all day because I'm like, I miss my childhood days. I miss my parents are getting older. That actor died. I'm so sad. I can't fit in my clothes.
And I also know when it's time to get you in the car and go to Baskin Robbins and buy
Or
you an
Home Goods.
entire ice cream cake or Home
So
Goods,
true.
so you can buy
See,
yourself
that's
something.
love.
So
I love you.
So it's good to have a plan. Like, something will get them out. And I think that's also uncharted waters. And you brought this up before, working at things.
Yes.
And work sometimes has like a negative connotation to it, right? Like, we go to work, we work to support ourselves, but this is the type of work you should do, right? This is the type of work. It doesn't have any monetary value, but the emotional value that it provides and the relationship building that it creates is so good.
That's
right. Like, if you can really figure out effective ways of communicating. And I think, after all these years, I mean, we brought this up on the podcast before. We talk every night, every single night.
Yeah. And
have
even
chat.
in the mornings, we lay there, like this morning at the looking at the ceiling. And what did I bring up? I'm like, hey, did you see that new conference that's coming to town? Let's go.
Well, I think I brought it up because I'm like, I saw the ceiling fan and I'm like, it looks like Patrick Star.
Right.
Every time I wake up, I stare up and I see the ceiling, and you're like, hey, should we go to a SpongeBob thing? And I'm like, no, I don't.
That's right.
I think we need to go there, but the ceiling fan reminds me of Patrick Star. So shout out to Patrick. But yeah, I think also keeping things light is helpful too. I mean, we're living in very heavy times.
Right.
So finding a bit of lightness and just saying that the ceiling fan looks like Patrick Star, or,
SpongeBob.
Talking about nostalgia stuff, which we've been doing a lot on the podcast. So hopefully everyone is enjoying the nostalgia piece. It is. But we're trying to mix everything up too.
Yeah.
We don't quite want to, we're not just about nostalgia. So,
but so I wanted to interject that you and I both are willing to do the work. Like, we're willing to invest in the relationship. Like, I hardly ever feel like it is unbalanced. Maybe like 3 or 4 times in our entire relationship have I ever felt like that. But then I'll say something and then it course corrects.
Yeah. I mean, I've never felt imbalanced. I mean,
that's because I'm amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely pull more weight. I think we just pull different kinds of weight, but no, you do a lot. I mean, there's I won't deny
we
that.
Do a lot. Teamwork.
It's hot to touch. But I think to the point,
yes.
it's not what we say, it's how we say it. So I think that's also very important.
And we also know we don't want to be alone in life. We're getting old. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's ironic because, we've had our younger years with lots of like lessons learned. And now it's like, hey, we found each other. Welcome to menopause.
Yeah, right. Like it
is
a
ironic.
Cool
God has a sense of humor. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Here's to the teen years, with the kids and, the craziness out in the world right now. and the job market and, your health and your physical and mental well-being. But we found each other. So, on the bright side, I would say,
Yeah. Now I get to watch you suffer. It's great.
No, you have to look at it as we have each other to get through the hard times. So
you're a person that builds up towards the blow up, right? Like you may not call it out, but you kind of harbor these things away. Not that you don't throw anything in anybody's face, but it does build up to a boiling point. So I'm going to go through a couple things that may trigger that. So
now,
I'll do it later. Listen, I know I am so guilty of this, right? Hey, you want to do this? I'll do it later.
I can't stand it.
How long did it take me to organize this until you got involved? Like that sneaker room was not getting organized, right? Like it just wasn't happening.
And talk about how long that took to get. Okay, so it's all organized now in the sneaker room. How long did it take to get
when we started to move the boxes?
When we started talking about it.
It was like 6-7 months.
Longer.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yes. Listen, I don't want to peak too early, right? I like to build up. I was developing the plan, and then I had to re-engineer the plan, and then I had to scrap that plan, and then I had to go back to create a new plan. And then I didn't like that new plan. So I went back to the old plan.
Ladies out there, I know you can relate. I talk to women all the time. I know y'all can relate. So shout out to you all women who are super patient with your partner. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm patient, but it's that age-old meme that's on Instagram or wherever. I'm sure it's everywhere now, where it's like, actually, I've seen even like reels of other couples that reenact it. It's like you ask your husband to do something, and after 5 minutes, she comes back in the room and she sees it's not done. He's still sitting there and she's like, never mind, I'll do it myself, because I feel like women, well, maybe not women, but I know for me personally, I have a long list of crap to do and I don't want to revisit it. So I want to mark it off as done. That's why I'm so adamant about I want to mark it off as done. I need to move on to the next task. It's like if you ask your kids to go change a light bulb, and you go upstairs and the light bulb hasn't been changed. And it's like, literally, it takes 5 seconds to get a light bulb and unscrew it and put the new one in.
You have a weird thing with light bulbs. I'm gonna out you on that.
I like
you
light.
Cannot, literally, if a light bulb is out, you could feel the angst coming off of your body.
I need order.
Yeah, I mean, the other day
it has to work
noticed
properly.
I didn't even have an opportunity to change the light bulb. I had a light out in my fixture. I blinked and it was replaced. You were so fast. I didn't even. I mean, it was crazy. I was just like, what?
Yeah, actually, you were standing there. I was like, I'll be right back. And I ran and got the light bulb and came back.
I think I was in the shower. You did a sneak attack.
I did.
It's out. So, yes.
I don't know why I'm like that. Well, I know I'm like that.
I do. I know why you're like that.
Why?
I think it has to do with Becca and making sure there's enough light. And you're just all conditioned to put a lot of lights on in the house.
No, I was saying in general why I'm so adamant about completing a task.
Oh, I thought you meant about the lights. Sorry.
No, I had Becca when I was young, and so I had to manage my time. And then I'm just used to having to do stuff all the time. Or I was used to having to do things all the time, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of trained myself that procrastination was a bad thing.
Gosh, I wish I could train myself to do that.
I used to get so much anxiety about it, and it would loom. I had a recent project with a client and I put it off, and I literally couldn't go to sleep because I kept thinking, I was like, I got to get that. And you remember, it was like a week or two ago. And I was like, I got to get this done. I got to get it done. I'm freaking out. I'm going to I feel like I'll probably have a heart attack at some point because I'll be so stressed. No, I won't.
No,
I won't.
We're not having a heart attack. But yes, I think, but the buildup to all this, when you finally kind of blow a gasket, are there any other things besides, I know you don't like procrastination, and I am the king of procrastination, but I'll ask for help, and I'm not happy about it. I mean, I get grumpy when it came to organizing things just because I don't know. I don't know why it is. I'm just mentally ill, I guess. But as far as, not acknowledging effort, right? Leaving stuff almost done, like, hey, I almost got it done, but it's not finished. Like that could be annoying. This used to bother me way back in the day when, let's just say, you get into an argument and you see your other person, and this is very immature, being very active on social media, but not talking to you, right?
Yeah.
Like just that level of pettiness. You're just like, really? Really? This is the way you're going to stick it to me? You're going to just like post a ton now, go on a posting rage or rage
I
posting?
can't stand that. Yeah.
So when you have to monitor the temperature of your relationship through social media, in my opinion, it's a real bad thing, right? Like that's not a healthy data point. Well, I don't know about that.
I'm kidding.
It's a moment in time where something you need to talk about something.
Yeah, communication.
So let's talk about like honesty, which is a weird point of entry, but do you like brutal honesty or do you just want like peace? Right? Like just let it go. I don't need to hear this or I don't need to understand this.
That's a good
question. Or is
question.
that just too of an abstract question?
No, I mean, I feel like we're always honest with each other. And I guess I would have to give some examples, but I also don't want you to be like, hey, like your neck is sagging.
Gully.
Yeah. I'm like, I am aware that there are issues with my body and I don't need you to point it out and be honest. That's not the honesty I'm looking at.
Got it. So
yeah.
So that kind of leads into, so what's better, calling it out or kind of letting it go? So
well, it's not that important, so I would let it go. But some things are important, right? Like some things you need to be honest. Like I would say it's more like if you're feeling like we're not connecting, or if you're worried about something, or you've got a problem with a family member or, whatever, like the more serious stuff. Yes. But I'm the type of person I'm like, I need you to tell me what's happening so I can fix it or so we can fix it.
Then you go to your cooking and I watch you cook and it's like, I'm going to use the smallest pot possible to make a large amount of pasta.
That I don't want to fix.
Yeah, clearly. And I can't resist pointing that out. So, which I know is irritating.
I get irritated in the moment, but at the same time, I know you're correct. I just like using a small pot to make my pasta. I don't like using a big pot.
No sense.
Okay, who else uses a big pot versus a small pot? It takes forever to boil the water.
But you need the water to, like, it's clear on the instructions.
But this is why you're the chef.
No.
Don't watch me.
It's kind of hard. Our house is not all that big. So if you're kind of meandering around, it's...
And the kitchen is like in the middle of the wherever everybody's walking to.
This house is designed... We should talk about this house in an episode.
No, we shouldn't.
How silly the design is of this house and how just tiny everything is. But I literally feel like this house was built in the 30s where things were just super tiny. But any case. So honesty, yes. And then when you have your like boiling point, when you hit that moment, it's kind of interesting to watch. You're one of the few people that is like this. You have 10 minutes of just explosive anger, but not bad. You don't get like mean or nasty.
I got real bad once. That was more recent. But that was because I was having a hormonal day.
Yes. Well, you can't blame everything on hormones, but that day you can. You can, because that's not fair. But you have a very short-lived temper, and then it's crazy. It's like rain in Florida. Florida. All of a sudden the sky will get gray and it'll pour, and then 10 minutes later the sun is out and it's beautiful. That is your anger pattern. It'll pour and everyone runs away and takes cover, and then when the sun comes out, we're back in business, and there is no reminder of this anger. And there's so many examples where literally you've done it with the kids, where you just blow up and have like a complete meltdown and then everything's fine. So it's wild to watch, because my anger festers, like it doesn't dissipate, and I become petty, and I'll find every kind of thing wrong before and after, and it just keeps building, and there's no relief. There's no release valve.
You're not like that. You're not more though.
No, I try not to be. It's hard.
Or at least I don't think you are.
Well, it's work. It's work. And also, I think as you get older, you just get more tired of being pissy all the time. So
Yeah.
and you're pretty easy as far as the fix, right? Like you said, physical touch and a hug, and it's kind of just over with. So, and a lot of things that we have a blow up about isn't actually about what's going on in that very moment. It's a culmination of things that you've been stressed out
Usually,
about and dealing
yeah.
with. And you know, you'll feel better. So I'm happy to be the punching bag for the 10 minutes that's needed. So,
Aw,
no, I think it's important.
makes me sad.
Why?
I want you to be the punching bag.
It's a metaphor, right? It's a
Thanks.
metaphor. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw the wrench in the spoke right now. Jeez, just shut the
No,
combo
it's okay.
down. Just shut the combo down. So,
No,
but
you
I
didn't.
think, has our relationship improved since there's nothing to watch on TV?
It's a great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
know if it
know.
improved.
It didn't improve, but we're annoyed at night because we can't believe how bad the shows are right now. It's weird. It's like just in the past year, there's like nothing no good to watch on TV. And it's crazy because I keep seeing all these reboots. Like, did you see, what was it I just saw this morning? It was something, the Beverly Hills? No. Beverly Hills. Remember that movie? With Shelley Long? Is it Shelley Long that's in it?
True Beverly Hills.
Yeah. They're doing a reboot of that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
see, even everybody else is tired of all the not great writing out there.
Wow,
They're reviving all these movies and shows. It's a sequel.
Yeah, it's from 1989.
Yeah.
You're right, Shelley Long. Tori Spelling is in it.
Yeah. Yeah. But we've kind of gotten to a point now where it's like, I don't even want to turn the TV on at night anymore. Because
I know you don't.
It's annoying to try to like go through a million channels, and we end up watching Culinary Cup. We watch some bowling show.
Yeah, that bowling show is fire. I don't care what you say. That bowling show is absolutely fire.
Gosh.
Check it out on HBO. It is hilarious. And who knew bowling was this intense? Like the whole process of bowling is wild. I love learning about that stuff. So
I do too.
I think it's wild. Just like Full Swing, right? The golf show.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see behind the scenes with the players. So I enjoy that and the Formula One show, Drive to Survive, another great kind of sports documentary.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny that those are the shows that we watch now. Or, we were watching. We're not old, but we have seen a lot of TV in our lifetime.
COVID,
so
definitely.
A lot of things it takes a lot to keep our interest anymore.
Yes. And speaking of which, I know it's a pet peeve of mine, but I'm guilty of it, is when we're talking and the other person's on their phone.
Yeah. I feel like we're pretty good about that, not doing that.
Kids are really bad.
Sometimes we both get on our phones at the same time, you know? Like in the morning, we'll like check messages or whatever.
Well, there is a pattern.
But we're not talking to each other.
No, but I feel like that's part of our morning rituals. Like we did an evening ritual. We should probably do a morning ritual show.
Could we?
Absolutely. It'll be the highest rated episode. But yeah, I think everyone has a routine in the morning. I think patterns provide comfort, right? So, but I also get anxiety if I don't clear out my email in the morning, because I get so much anxious. Okay. I don't know why.
Switching topics because you said patterns, and I'm throwing this out there. Routine. Sometimes we get really bored with a routine. We like routine. Like if we go travel somewhere and we eat a bunch of, like we eat out a lot, and then we're like, we can't wait to get back and eat our normal food. But at the same time, I get really bored with routine over an extended period of time. And then I'm like, especially at night, I'm like, I don't want to make dinner and eat and then get in bed, watch TV, and go to sleep. And I get kind of crazy, and I'm like, I want to go upstairs, and I want to like paint, or, I want to be like crazy.
But you don't actually do any of those things.
No, I don't.
So what are we talking about?
Head, though. It's too much effort. I'm just kidding. Like I said, I think our days are pretty full.
Yeah, but I think routine is good and bad. It's good and bad. So, I mean, I eat the same thing every night. That's a routine, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying, but I don't like to put a lot of bad stuff in the body. So I don't know why. I shouldn't say that. I really do like eating a lot of bad things. I just can't afford to eat those bad things because.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'll be 8,000 pounds, and unhealthy. So yeah, I think we've uncovered some interesting discussions today.
Yes, we have.
I think we have. So I think in closing, we'll do a couple more episodes around some of the rituals that happen. We'll do a morning ritual show and
Ooh.
we'll keep rolling. We got some good nostalgia shows in the hopper. So
Yes,
we got a lot of good stuff coming up. Make sure you continue to engage and let us know anything.
Give us your thoughts.
Anything. So
yes. All right.
That's another episode of The Well in the books. I'm Drew.
And I'm Kat. And this is the source of something greater.
Is the source of something greater. The Well, the source of something greater. Here.
That's right. Fill up, tank up with Kat and Drew. Right. I feel like we need like a little outro that's like, fill up with Kat and Drew, and we'll see you next time on The Well, the source of something greater.
There it is. We're going to record it. That's the outro. Thank you, Catherine, for providing the outro. And now we need, we'll record the intro. We're becoming more professional in our podcasting careers here. So
yes.
Would you like to do the outro again to officially close out the show?
Sure. This is Kat.
This is Drew.
And we'll see you next time on The Well, the source of something greater.
Yeah, you couldn't remember.
I only did it once because I can't remember. But yes, we will see you next time.
We will see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye.